What's up, guys? I'm David Pearson, and you are tuning into the Digi-Bros Podcast. You can reach me on Instagram at david.not.john. It's a funny name just because my twin's name is John, and everyone calls me John. So I wanted to make sure that they would call me the right name, which is David. So the type of digital work that I do is I primarily I started with drone photography and videography with the DJI line of drones. I started with the Spark, um, or no, the Mini, I believe, and I think now it's called the Spark, but the smallest one, just because that was the best budget one. And then I moved up to the DJI Air Mavic 2, which is another good one. It's more expensive, but it's just below the really expensive one. So it was just a perfect in between drone. And the quality is just super great, and it has all the features that you want in a drone. But now I recently got the Sony A6400, and so yeah, I'm gonna be trying to start some digital videography, and then as well as I'm gonna try my luck, try with some photography stuff. Definitely inspired by Eric French, who is
They
here with us. So introduce yourself, my man.
I'm Eric, also known as Eric's Photos. Mainly do portrait photography using my Sony A7 II. Um, I started photography beginning of 2020 with an old Nikon camera from a friend. Shout out to Colton. Used that for the first half of 2020, and then I got the Sony camera, and I was just kind of trying out like a little bit of everything. I was mainly doing nature work, a little bit of portrait stuff, trying to do some basketball stuff because I'd seen other creators doing that. Started up the YouTube channel and just kind of showcasing my progress of learning everything. And then towards the later half of 2020, I got the Sigma 85 millimeter lens, which is just a beast. And if you see my work, you know it. And that just really just stepped up my portrait photography. And actually, the first time I worked with David back in October of 2020, that was probably one of my first few portrait shoots with that lens. And that was when I started to realize, okay, this like lens helps like improve my portraits so much, and I could just see the potential with it, and he can as well, and I'm sure you can agree on that.
Definitely, definitely. I was super impressed. I was like, all right, like, yeah, let's go out, let's have some fun, let's see
Hmm.
what happens. And then after, when I got the results, I was like, ooh, okay, this stuff is this is some serious gear you got. But no, I'm excited. So
Yeah, and that was like for your drone work too. You had some really nice drone shots the first time we hung out. Got some cool basketball stuff.
yeah, and that was cool too, just because it had been so long since we had I had been with anyone, just because it was
Hmm.
literally in the middle of of the pandemic and stuff. So there's nothing really that I was doing or that Eric was doing with in terms of group settings or meeting up. And so we were like, well, let's just do some one-on-one, and
Hmm.
so we were able to just collab with that, and it really helps just when you have even just one other person to get the creative juices flowing, and just bouncing ideas off of each other, even if it's something that doesn't work. Well, now it doesn't work, and you can just get other feedback, which is really cool too.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. Like with David, I mean, we were talking about this the first time we hung out. Towards the end, we were like kind of like had no plans after the shoot, and I was like, wait, there's this bridge spot. You can try some long exposures. I can try some stuff. And we did it. Then we had all these different types of ideas, and like, okay, next time we hang out, let's go to this spot and this spot. We're gonna try this types of photography. We're gonna try car photography. Go to this car meet. From there, it just kept leading to new plans. And like working with David, I could tell from the time we first started to up until now, like your drone stuff has gotten a lot better. Like there's a great improvement, and also your modeling too. Because the beginning, you're just kind of just like standing around, just kind of having fun, and then you come up with like new ideas, and you're like one of my main models for Explore too.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to Explore, but and
Yeah,
like literally just that one time hanging out just led to like all this like great YouTube content, just funny TikToks and just things like that.
definitely, definitely. It's really fun just getting out there and having fun. And yeah, you're totally right in terms of it just takes time to kind of find where you're at and to kind of grow into the kind of, whether that's digital content creator you want to be or model or whatever, so it
Hmm.
takes time, but you got to keep doing it. And so obviously with the dedication that you put in, Eric, it shows, um, it's showing on the TikTok, on Instagram, and then on YouTube too. So uh,
Appreciate it.
yeah, respect to that.
So I just want to dive into a little bit more about what this podcast is going to be for. So,
Yes,
as
sir.
I mentioned earlier, I do a lot of photography. I don't do too much videography. It's mainly just B-roll stuff for my YouTube channel or for my brand. And David does a lot of drone work. He's getting into videography and they're going to try out a little bit of photography. So we'll be sharing like our experiences, what kind of drove our passion for it, like our so, like yeah, as I was saying, experiences, just stories as well, because we've had some interesting people we've met along the way.
Mm,
Um, like pros and cons, just like best shoots, least favorite shoots, things of that nature. And we'll also have some guests on that are also creators. Because I've actually had a few people that wanted to hop on as well.
sweet.
And even just like people that were cool with, like I have one of my brothers who wants to hop in here, so that'd be kind
Yeah,
of cool. He makes content as well on basketball stuff, so that'd be kind of cool.
yeah, I'm excited for this, for sure. And by no means am I like a professional or
Hmm.
I even amateur. I would consider myself more of a hobbyist. I do this stuff for fun, so it's not like I'm like I know everything. That's part of the fun. I find it a lot of fun in the fact that I don't know everything and that I can kind of just explore. Shout out to
Yeah,
explore.com.
yeah,
But yeah, just explore, what's out there in terms of what I could do with a camera. And so that's part of the reason why I got the Sony A6400 is I just like making videos, because you could just, with video stuff, you could make stuff way more dramatic than what happens in real time, whether that's with slow-mo or if you speed something up. And so it's just really fun to get those creative juices flowing.
absolutely. And like, I just want to say a little bit about, we could say a little bit about ourselves before photography. So like
Yeah.
beforehand, I've always been a huge fan of just like making videos, just random fun things. Like I had a period of I just liked enjoying like making little video game edits and stuff. And then like November 2020-ish, I actually remember we were on like, or no, 2019, I should say. We were like on, I think, Thanksgiving break during senior year. And I just started getting a bunch of like photography videos and I recommended, and I was just watching like, you know what? Like I actually really want to do that. And then fast forward to like beginning of 2020, got a camera, and that just led to where we are today. So what about you? Like how did you kind of get interested in like video creating and just filming?
Yeah, so for me, um, I'm just a big like movie fan in general, specifically Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I'm a
sir.
big just Star Wars geek. But yeah, I just something draws me to movies and movie making just because it's just all bigger than life, right? Just like big explosions, the dialogue. You could really just have these really dramatic scenes. And so I'm all for, the drama and stuff. And so growing up, I would actually use my mom's phone. I'd take her phone and I'd, make just like stupid little videos. And then when I got my own iPhone, I would shoot little like trailers. I would remake little scenes from movies too. The one I remember the most was it was from the end of Star Wars: The Force Awakens when Rey is walking up the mountain to go see Luke, and I kind of remade that like going up my stairs and like in the stuff and then I like putting the music to it too because that's just a big part in filmmaking. So I just really enjoy that. And then I also like making like my own trailers like
Hmm.
you know I like going with a theme. So if there's, I pretty much after if I've seen a sports movie, I'm like, okay, I want to make like a, fake like ending of a sports movie or a fake like trailer for one or like an action movie. I'm one of my favorite trailers I made was called Hero Man, and it was about a superhero that it's just the typical all the cities falling apart and it needs a hero. And so I was able to make that. But yeah, I really enjoy just making anything to do with videos.
That was the same way for me. Like I should have mentioned this earlier, but like when I was a kid, I grabbed like an old like point and shoot camera and do like lots of stop motion photos of like Legos and stuff,
Yeah.
making them move. And at one point we had this thing called a flip video. and I would attach that to like toy cars and stuff and just filming things with my brother and just like literally anything. And
Hmm.
then like I'd see like YouTubers and stuff growing up and I'm like, YouTube videos is also something that I really enjoyed and that's what I've been doing for a while too. So that's also another thing besides photography, the process of making YouTube videos, filming them, editing them is a lot of fun for me. Like I literally just finished editing a video like an hour or two ago.
Yeah, so that's the other thing is just like seeing the process through of, starting like whether you start with a storyboard, which is really helpful sometimes, or
Hmm.
just like let's just go out to the location first and come up with an idea later. But just seeing that whole process through of putting a video together and then editing it, putting the sound effects, music, which is always really fun. But all of that is just I love it. So that's why I'm here.
Hmm. And like in high school, I took all those video production classes and the news show, and that was a lot of fun too. And for my Explorer brand, making like the grease and stuff I'll do, I'll just be bored. And I'm like, you know what, let me make an edit out of the clips I have, and I'll find a song I like, do certain things that kind of go with the beat a little bit, add some transitions, and it's just a lot of fun.
So
And boom, after that, I have something to post on the social medias too.
you go. There you go.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
And for our actual setup, we should have mentioned this earlier though, but this Zoom, we won't really be using this unless it's like with guests. But I have an area behind my setup here, and I can kind of I can maybe show it here. You can see the little table over there. We're gonna set it all up. It's a little messy right now, but once we set that up, we'll have video versions because we'll probably be using my camera or David's camera, for example, and also have
Mhm.
audio versions for Spotify and Apple Music and all those sites and platforms.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm super excited, and yeah, it's gonna be great. Gonna have guests on here, and just have a good time talking about digital content making. So it's gonna be a lot
Hmm.
of fun.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to mention trying to get a podcast out like once every other week or so. It just kind of depends on our free time and things in that personal life stuff. So, and if we get a lot of viewers, a lot of listeners, then we could double that to like once a week. It just really just depends on our schedules and stuff.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah. Also, I feel like spacing out the podcast will allow for more conversations to share about like previous shoots and things like that.
Exactly. And then it gives some time for just some like creative flow in terms of because you don't want to just be like stacking yourself up too soon and
Hmm.
too fast because then you run out of ideas or you just lose steam. So it's just
Yeah.
you got to start off it's just at a decent pace. You don't want to go too fast. So yeah.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for the first episode to be coming in a few weeks or
Yes,
so.
sir. Yes, sir.
Follow the socials, Digi-Bros Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Be on the lookout. Yeah.
Yes, sir.